I never thought I'd be the kind of guy who'd catch his girlfriend cheating. You know, the one who checks locations, scrolls through messages, or follows her car out of paranoia. But that night, I saw something I'll never unsee. I saw my girlfriend, the woman I thought I'd marry, sitting with another man, laughing, smiling, looking at him the way she used to look at me. It wasn't even the kind of laugh that says we're just friends. It was the kind that hits you right in the chest, soft, intimate, familiar. The kind you remember because it used to belong to you. I didn't confront them. I just stood there, frozen behind my car window, watching from the shadows. I wanted to scream, cry, do something, but I didn't because somewhere deep down, I already knew this moment was coming. But when I finally asked her the next morning what she was doing that night, her answer broke me even more than seeing her with him ever could. I met Emily 3 years ago in college. She was this warm, outgoing, slightly awkward girl who laughed too loud and made friends wherever she went. I was the quiet one, more focused on my classes, my part-time job, and just surviving each semester. We met in a psychology elective. She sat next to me, asked if I had an extra pen, and for some reason that tiny interaction turned into 3 years of shared breakfasts, late-night talks, and weekend road trips. She made life brighter. She remembered the small things, how I liked my coffee, the songs I hummed when stressed, the way I always sat facing the door in restaurants. And I remembered how she looked when she smiled, like the world made sense again. We graduated, got jobs, moved into a small apartment together. It wasn't perfect, money was tight, schedules were crazy, but we made it work. Until slowly we didn't. It started small. Fewer texts during the day, shorter replies, less laughter when we were together. When I'd reach for her hand on the couch, she'd shift slightly like she didn't notice. When I kissed her goodnight, sometimes her eyes would stay open, staring at the ceiling. I told myself it was just stress. Everyone drifts sometimes. But my gut whispered something else. Something was changing, and I was too scared to admit it. It was a Thursday night when everything cracked. She told me she was going to meet an old friend, a girl from her new job, to grab dinner and catch up. I didn't think much of it at first, but as the night went on, something felt off. She hadn't texted in hours. Usually she'd check in, a photo of food, a funny meme, something. So I did something I'm not proud of. I opened the Find My Phone app we shared, the one we used for safety. Her location wasn't at the restaurant she'd mentioned. It was in a park, about 20 minutes away. I remember sitting in my car, keys in hand, my heart hammering so loud I could barely breathe. Part of me said, "Don't go, you'll regret it." But the other part, the desperate part here, said, "You need to know." So I drove. It was late, the park lights dim, the streets quiet. And there she was, Emily, standing under a flickering lamppost, her hair tied up, her favorite brown jacket on, and sitting across from her on the bench was a man. I couldn't see much, just the outline of him, tall, clean-cut. They were talking, leaning in close. Then she laughed. That laugh, soft and familiar, like she was with someone who got her. I gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. I wanted to storm out, yell, demand answers. But I didn't. I just sat there watching the girl I loved, and realizing she might not be mine anymore. When she came home that night, I pretended to be asleep. I felt the bed shift as she climbed in beside me. Her hand brushed my arm, gentle, familiar, and she whispered, "I love you." And in that moment it broke me, because I wanted to say it back, but I couldn't. The words felt like lies now. The next morning I made breakfast like nothing happened. Eggs, toast, her favorite tea. I watched her smile faintly, scrolling on her phone. Then I asked, "Hey, how was dinner last night?" She froze for half a second, just long enough for me to notice. "It was good," she said quickly. "Just me and Sarah from work." Sarah, the name she'd used before. I swallowed hard. "Oh, that's nice," I said. "Where'd you guys eat?" Her eyes flickered. That new Italian place downtown. And that's when I knew. Because I'd been to that park. I'd seen her, and I knew she wasn't downtown. I didn't confront her right then. I couldn't. I wanted to give her one more chance to be honest, but she wasn't. The next few days, she grew even more distant. Late nights, new excuses, strange phone calls, and the more I tried to reach her, the more she slipped away. Until one night, I couldn't take it anymore. I asked her again, straight this time, "Who were you really with at the park?" Her face went pale. Her lips trembled, and the silence that followed said everything. She tried to deny it at first, said I was imagining things, said I was being paranoid, But then her voice cracked, and before she could stop herself, tears started falling. She sat down, head in her hands, shaking. "I didn't mean for this to happen," she whispered. "Then tell me the truth, Emily," I said. "Well, who was he?" She took a deep breath and said his name, someone I'd never heard of. "A guy from her therapy group. He just listened," she said. "When I felt invisible, he made me feel seen again." I didn't say anything. I just stared at her. She continued, voice trembling. "It wasn't physical, I swear. But I told him things I should have told you, about how I felt, how lonely I was, how tired. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to hate her. But all I felt was empty." Then she said the line that broke me. "I didn't cheat because I stopped loving you. I cheated because I stopped loving myself." That sentence hit harder than any betrayal ever could, because in that moment I realized this wasn't just about infidelity. It was about two people slowly losing themselves and each other without noticing. I wanted to fix it, to scream, to forgive, to do anything to make it make sense. But deep down I knew something inside us had already died. That night I packed a bag and left. No big fight, no shouting, just silence. I drove around aimlessly, past old places that used to mean something. The coffee shop where we met, the lake where we used to sit in the car and talk about the future, the little store where she'd make me buy flowers just because. Every street felt like a ghost town, every memory like a wound that wouldn't close. She texted a few times that night. "I'm sorry. Please talk to me. I never wanted to hurt you." I didn't reply. I couldn't. For days I replayed everything, every smile, every silence, every time I ignored the signs, and I realized this wasn't sudden. It had been happening for months. Two people slowly drifting apart, both too afraid to admit they were already lost. Eventually she moved out. No drama, no closure. Just a note on the counter that said, "I'll always care about you." And for a while, I thought that was the cruelest part, that she still cared, but not enough to stay. Months passed. I focused on work, on healing, on learning how to live without her shadow next to me. And then one day at a grocery store of all places, I saw her again. She was standing in the fruit aisle holding a basket, looking different, thinner, tired, like life had been heavier on her too. Our eyes met, and for a second it felt like time stopped. She smiled softly. Not the same smile I fell in love with, but a smaller, sadder one. And for the first time I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel heartbreak. I just felt peace, because I finally understood something. Sometimes people don't cheat because they want someone new. They cheat because they've lost themselves and don't know how to be found. Emily wasn't a villain, and maybe I wasn't a victim. We were just two broken people trying to feel whole in the wrong ways. I smiled back, gave her a small nod, and walked away. Not because I didn't care, but because I finally did. I forgave her in silence, not for her sake, but for mine. And as I stepped out of the store into the evening air, I realized something I wish I'd known all along. Love doesn't always end with betrayal. Sometimes it just fades quietly, until what's left are memories of what almost lasted forever.